Hi, hello, welcome to my little channel. My name is Chelsea, and if you clicked on this video, you are about to watch my June and July reading recap. Yes, it's overdue, but you know, we move. If you watch my TikTok, then you know that I'm notorious for being late with my reading wrapped, but I'm hoping now that I'm gonna start posting onto YouTube, we're gonna be a little bit more consistent with it. So that's why I just decided to combine the two today, and then in August it will have its own video. And I have also decided to include my August TBR in this video as well. So let's get into it. June I read 6 books. 5 of them were on Kindle and 1 was a physical copy. So I'm just gonna start from the beginning and we're gonna make our way through it. First book that I read in June was Fragile Hopes. I absolutely ate this up, 5 stars, my first Fire book. I need to read more. The second one comes out 3 days before my birthday in November. Happy birthday to me. Super duper excited for that one. The second book that I read in June was Nocticadia. Now I say read, technically it was just a book that I finished because I actually started Nocticadia the month before. It took me about a month and a half to read it. I don't know why, I'm a bit of a mood reader, so if I start something and I'm really feeling it, it puts me off. And I actually sat down and got into like the meat of it because it's a very thick book. There was a lot of world building in it. Not that I'm complaining, because the world building was really good, but it was just a very heavy book and it just took me a while to get into it. But then when I did, oh yeah, so good. 5 star. I cannot believe it's standalone. I know there's a little like novella spin-off on Kerry Lake's website and I will be checking that out at some point. Don't hold me to it for when I'm going to read it, but just know that eventually I will be there. The third book that I read was a book club pick. It was Love and Other Words, and let me just tell you, I did not like this book. I am so sorry to everyone that loves this book. I wish I did, but I don't. I rated it 2.5 stars, I believe. I just did not enjoy it. I wasn't rooting for them. I hated the back and forth between like past and present. Normally I don't mind like the present, like past tense switch. I don't normally mind it, but I think it only bothered me because I didn't like these characters. I did not like them, was not rooting for them. I was glad when this book was finished. Books 4 and 5 that I read in June were part of this Omegaverse series that I'm reading, and I am really enjoying every book in the series so far. His Forbidden Omega I rated 4 stars, and his Marked Omega I nearly said voted. I marked 4 stars. You see, I'm getting all muddled up now. But both of them I rated 4 stars, and the next one comes out, I want to say September. I am very excited for that. That is Leviathan's book, and oh my god, I'm really excited for that one. And last but not least, in June I read Out on a Limb. It was my only physical book of the month, and that is only because I stole it off of Leah's shelf. So thank you to Leah. Now I rated this book 3 stars, and then I think I dropped it to 2.5 because I wanted more from it. Like, I feel like after the initial conflict of her getting pregnant and then telling Bo and then them moving in together and like learning about each other, I just felt like that happened very early on, and then there was still like this much book left, and it just felt like a bit of nothing burger. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, they were really cute. I really liked how nerdy Bo was. Like, I love a nerdy MC. He was so cute and I loved them together, but I just wanted more from it. So that's the only reason it got 2.5 stars, because I just felt like it just dragged the last like 200-ish pages, which is a shame because I went into this with really high hopes. You know, obviously everyone talks about it, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. Okay, on to July. Finally, I read 4 books. It would have been more, but I started off really strong in July and then I just hit a wall. I just ended up in such a reading slump and it killed me off basically. Just the thought of picking up a book and reading it, yeah, no. So I only read 4, which I actually still think is quite good. However, I did have to push myself through some of them. Let's dive in. The first book that I read in July was The Rancher's Baby Proposal. Now, this was just a book that I picked up from the charity like donations thing at work, and it's tiny. Like, the book must have only been about like pocket size, and yeah, I just did not enjoy it at all. I think I rated it two or 2.5 stars. I just did not enjoy it at all. I just thought it was really cringy, and I hated the fact that we kept referring to the male main character's baby, Sean. We just kept calling him the baby. Like, we didn't call him Sean, we were calling him the baby. The baby did this, the baby did that. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. And the main female character, she made me cringe really badly. I just did not enjoy it, and I was happy to get that one over with pretty much. The second book that I read in July was none other than Unsteady. It was on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I fancy this. And I started off, and I don't know what happened. My momentum just lost it. Not that I wasn't enjoying it, because I really enjoyed it. I rated it 4 stars, but I think this was like in the middle of when my reading slump hit, and I was like, I just don't have it in me to pick up this book. However, then when I did pick it up and I sat down and obviously I got into it, I was like, you know what, yeah, the only gripe I have with this book, and I said this in my review as well, Sadie is 5'2" and Reese is 6'3". You know where I'm going with this, because all they talked about was how small Sadie was. Oh, she's just so small and petite, and oh, I can fit my whole hands around her weight. Why are all female characters so small now? Like, whenever you pick up a romance book these days, why are the female characters always like 5'2", 5'1", 5'3"? Why? You can still have a regular sized woman and a 6'3" guy. Why has she got to be almost a foot beneath him? That was my only gripe. Apart from that, I really enjoyed it, and I do want to read the next ones in the series. The third book that I read in July was Happy Place by Emily Henry. This was a book club pick. I know it was actually Grace's birthday pick. She wanted us to read this for her birthday, so I did, and I have thoughts. Grace, I'm so sorry. This is Grace's favourite Emily Henry book, by the way. Emily Henry is Grace's favourite author. She will buy whatever she puts out, and I love that for her. But I just did not enjoy this book. I rated it, I want to say 2.5 stars, because I just did not vibe with this book at all. I didn't like pretty much a lot of things in this book, actually. I just felt like it was missing the magic that Funny Story had, and Book Lovers. I rated both of those 5 stars. I don't know, I did not vibe with this book. I was really upset about it, because I also really like Emily Henry, but yeah, she let me down on this one, so yeah, that's that one. The jacket has come off because it was starting to get a little bit warm in here, so let's get straight into the last book that I read in July, and it is Nemesis Mine by Amy Archer. This is her debut novel, and it was a book that I picked up on a spontaneous trip to the works, you know, as you do, and I don't regret it, because these two, Cyrus and Max, they got me out of my reading slump. This book is so funny. Like, it actually had me cackling out loud like a witch. It's so campy, it's so funny. The world building and the magic system, it's all super easy. It's an easy read. The spice is really well done in it, and I just love everything about them. Obviously they are villain and hero, but they strike a deal, and it's really delicious, and I love it. And if you read any book this year, I really recommend this, and not Nocticadia, but definitely Nemesis Mine by Amy Archer. Hands down, it's in the contender for my favourite book that I've read this year. Like, this and Nocticadia, like, they're up here, because that is how good this is. And yeah, it's beautiful on the inside. This is what the cover looks like. I absolutely love this book. Like, I can't tell you how much I love this. So yeah, that is everything that I read in June and July. There was quite a few more books than I thought, because when I started filming, I only started filming my July wrapped. even though the video is titled June July Rat, I was only putting forward my July rat, and then about halfway through filming I was like, huh, hang on a second, there's not as many books here as what I thought, and that's because I forgot to record June. So I then went and filmed June, and then we filmed July separately. So yeah, that is that. Let's get into my August TBR. I'm a mood reader, and I'm always very optimistic, overly so, when I do plan a TBR, because sometimes if I don't plan what I'm reading, I kind of flounder about. But if I pick something and then I stick to it, it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but that makes sense in my head, okay. Now, I am currently rereading ACOTAR. I did a bit of a reading session last night. I read 10 chapters. I'm hoping to finish it either tonight or tomorrow, because we go to Paris Monday morning. We're taking my sister to Disneyland Paris, and I want it finished by then. So it's not, well, yeah, technically August TBR, because we're gonna finish it in August. So that is the first book. And then because we are continuing my reread, we will be moving on to A Court of Mist and Fury. The only one that I've not read in the series yet is A Court of Silver Flames, which is why I'm rereading all the others to then reread Silver Flames before ACOTAR 6 and 7 come out later in the year. I just realised we're in August now, which means they're coming very, very soon. So actually I may prioritise my ACOTAR reread, because I just realised the pressure's getting worse. The first book on my official TBR away from my ACOTAR reread is The Love Hypothesis. I really need to get this read because I love Lily Reinhart. The movie looks really good, and yeah, it needs reading. I hate this, by the way, side note. Like, why? I hate that. Like, you've ruined the entire book by putting a TikTok sticker on it, so thank you for that, guys. This is where we get a little bit optimistic. For the past couple of months, I have been reading like 6 or 8 books a month, so it's not actually that much of a stretch, but if I put it out into the atmosphere, you know, maybe I'll read it. But I really want to read the Caraval series. I remember bringing Caraval on holiday with me a couple of years ago, and instead of reading that, I read A Study in Drowning and Flawless, I think it was, the first Chestnut Springs book, and Caraval never made it off my shelf, and I've wanted to read it for a while, so we're officially putting it in the TBR in hopes of it kicking me up the arse, really. And last but not least, we've got Till Summer Do Us Part. I picked this up at work a couple of weeks ago. It looks really cute. I love a summer book, and I'm hoping that with like the summer vibes it will fit in perfectly. So yeah, we'll see if I get round to it or not. And there we have it. That is my August TBR. I'm gonna try and be optimistic, because I have read more than this in 1 month a couple of times, and I'm hoping now that I'm out of my book slump, this will just be a piece of cake. And I'm hoping that once I start the Caraval series, and I'll just naturally want to read more. So that is my hopes for August. Fingers crossed that I read at least Mist and Fury and Love Hypothesis. I think those are my two, like, my priority reads. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back with my August recap. We will see how many of these books I actually managed to read. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Hi, hello, welcome to the channel, I suppose. I hate that. I did not like that at all. And July reading round. I was on a good run. Why did it stop? Okay, we're gonna go again. I swear it's gone wrong. We're going to be doing the long overdue June and July reading wrapped. that was a bit of a mouthful to get out, but we moved. Oh my god, it's starting to get a little bit warm here. The jacket is coming off. Oh, it's starting to get a little bit warm. Oh, mamma mia.